Hi all, this is May and welcome back to my channel for a brand new speed build. So today I'm building a home for a soft desert starter home in Oasis Springs for my save file. This one ended up costing around 18 to 19,000 simoleons as a standalone build, or if I'm not mistaken it ended up close to 20,000 with the added lot value, and it will be available to move into at the start of the game when starting up the save file. So I've been making a lot of starter homes in the base game worlds recently for the save, and if you haven't checked those out yet but would like to, you can watch all of the save file builds in order through the playlist up on my channel. Majority of the videos do have voiceovers on them, with the exception of certain smaller builds like the starter homes and some of the community lots I've made so far. So I usually don't do voiceovers for my starter homes or the videos that aren't that long, like today's video, but I felt like switching it up today. I know that a lot of you enjoy the voiceovers and it's a nice way to get into the build and all the details. However, most of the time there aren't like a lot of things that I can think of straight off the bat that would be interesting to listen to, especially when there's no household or storyline for me to get into. But I'll be here chatting with you today, and I hope it will be a cozy, calming video for you to watch, even if I'll probably ramble most of the video about today's build and probably something about the progress of the save file as well. So I'm doing the voiceover for this just after my most recent video, the retired couples home, which is also up on my channel. And yeah, I've just been really into building in Oasis Springs these days. I've fallen in love with it, to be honest, and I feel like it's much easier for me to build here in comparison to the other base game worlds. Something that I am struggling with, especially in Willow Creek and Newcrest, are the community lots. I have a lot of them planned, but there's something about the style or the surrounding environment that kind of stops me a bit, if that makes sense. So that's going to be an interesting challenge. At least I should do a few community lots here and there in between the regular houses I make, just so I don't bombard you with all the community lots at once here on the channel. But yeah, I've had a similar problem with Oasis Springs actually until yesterday. So yesterday I was up until 2 a.m. building a yoga studio in Oasis Springs, and I just love how it's looking so far. It's very modern and has an interesting shape to it, so I think for the Oasis Springs community lots I will mix between modern architecture and more of like a Mediterranean style. I already have modern apartments on that commercial strip. I think it was one of the first builds I did for my save file, so I'm kind of building off of that one and it's working so far. Crossing my fingers I will figure it out. So I'll have the yoga studio that Zoe Patel, for an instance, will go to frequently. I haven't built anything for Zoe Patel yet, but I have her storyline all like ready to go basically. And other than the yoga studio, I've been thinking of having a bowling alley, but I'm not too sure how well I can incorporate that with a Mediterranean vibe, because that's what I want for the bigger community lot. So I'll have to think about it or just experiment and see how it goes. And then I've been thinking of a nightclub, like a modern one. So those are the planned ones, and I can't wait to start showing you some of them soon. I've just got a lot of builds going on, and as always, I'm always so excited to build for the save. I can't lie, it's something I'm looking forward to every day, and being able to share them with you and talk about them and making progress to the save file, slowly but surely getting closer to the first release, it just really makes me happy. And for today's build, as mentioned, I'm doing a starter home. I did build majority of this over on Twitch, by the way. I stream there 4 times a week, so if you ever want to come hang out, catch some of the building in real time, or even watch me do some gameplay, do make sure to go on over to twitch.tv/honeymaysims and leave a follow, and I hope I'll be able to see you next time. So yeah, if I don't remember incorrectly, I did the exterior and majority of the interior on stream. I did a few things off stream to like clean up the look of it and try to cut down on some of the expenses, but I think it ends up looking really cute. There's a lot of light colors like beiges and whites, which is my favorite color scheme these days, and I think it works quite well with this desert environment. And even though I had a small budget to work with, I didn't want the home to look empty or like basic or cheap. So I've tried to clutter just a tiny bit here and there, and I've tried to use items from other packs than just base game, and yeah, I wanted it to be pretty. And some of the viewers over on Twitch did say that this doesn't look like a starter home, which I can agree to, because it doesn't look cheap, you know. And I was initially going to do a bigger fenced in backyard, but I realized I've done that a lot recently and the fence costs a lot, I realized. So eventually I take that away and instead I just do a smaller open area in the back, still using some fence though, and just like a chair and, you know, very simple. But there's also some garden plots for gardening. I really like how the kitchen and bathroom turn out. I love that terracotta colored tiles on the floor, which is base game by the way. They added a few new swatches to that flooring not that long ago, and I love this color. It fits the house and its vibe very much, and just the regular wood flooring here too is pretty. It's one from Jungle Adventure actually. I do use that pack for the kitchen too, seeing as the counters are from there. I'm probably overusing those counters for Oasis Springs though, but they just work so well. As for the exterior windows and the front door, those are from the For Rent pack, which I absolutely love. I love all the different windows you can have with that. Again, they're pretty versatile. I just had to use some here. I've used a lot of darker windows for my Oasis Springs houses, especially the Mediterranean inspired ones, but here I just go for white instead because I've used a bit of a like darker, no, not darker, but like a light brown beige color on the outside mixed in with the stone. Originally I used the white concrete on the outside, but I felt like it blended too much with the white windows, so I just used a light like brown beige color instead, and I think that works. And it kind of sets it apart a bit from my other builds in this area because they also have very white exteriors. And I'm actually working on another build in another neighborhood that has a bit more color on the outside, which I'm really happy about. I do think I have probably used too much white for the homes in Oasis Springs. So I think that house that I'm going to show you hopefully pretty soon, it's kind of refreshing when it comes to the colors on the outside. It's a bit more colorful. But yeah, talking about the starter home again, I did not put a laptop in this house, and that's a bit too expensive for this budget home, but there is a desk in the quite sizable bedroom, so once you do earn money, you could always put it there and use that nook of the room as a study or office, if you will. And yeah, I think this house would be perfect for a single sim just starting out or a couple. And yeah, other than that, I'm already finishing up the build here. It is a shorter video today since the build is smaller and we'll soon head into the screenshots. So that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content in the future. If you want to be notified of when I upload a video next, make sure to click the bell icon too. This build is playtested and up on my gallery. My ID is honeymaysims, or you can find me with the hashtag honeymaysims as well. You can also grab the tray files in the description. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today as we build this starter home in Oasis Springs, and I can't wait to talk to you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye!